Hello, welcome back to another episode of Pulp, Cthulhu, Masks of Nyarlathotep on Garblag Games. We're gonna kick things off with where we left off with an interesting situation to see the fate of Louis and Jaden as they were poking around Augustus Larkin's hotel room. But before we do that, let's do a little round table. People can talk about who they are playing today, and then we'll do a recap and get started. So, as always, Pete will kick things off at the beginning, at the top of my overlay.
Hello, I'm Pete. International cricket legend, suffering a bit of an injury, taking a bit of time away and on this little adventure in Peru. And last week was busy trying to distract or confuse the police with Gwen, which was a lot of fun.
Yes, and you're both really successful at doing that. I still got Dodeca
Just
on
about.
here. I was waiting for the Dodeca
Oh yeah,
plug, but it's over now.
No, it's done. It's done. My only plug now is we've got Traveller on Thursday, but we can talk about that later.
All right. Megan, can you tell us about Gwendolyn, please?
And so I play Gwendolyn Murphy, or Gwen. She's an artist and looking to get away from the crazy nightlife of New York, so she decided to go to Peru. Last week was pretty awesome. We did a covert operation to sidestep our eyes from the police, and I think it was pretty good. So we're what are we doing? I apologize. I don't have my glasses. I've lost my glasses. They're in my house somewhere, so if I'm like squinty or anything like that, I'm not glaring. It's just I can't see. So this week we tried to do fireworks. My family and I are going through our plethora of board games underneath our stairs, and fireworks was good. Didn't take nearly as long as we wanted to, so we ended up playing Clue, and everybody loves Clue. It was good.
It's a classic. Or Cluedo, as our friends across the pond call it.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
I thought you were talking about actual fireworks. I was like, wow, you found fireworks under your stairs as well? I was really confused there for a second.
Sorry, nothing.
That would have been cool. Finding fireworks? I think. Calum, welcome back. Give us a rundown of Jaden and what you got going on.
So tonight I'm playing Jaden Wallace-Hall once again. Hopefully once again, and there will be many other times following this session tonight. There's absolutely no reason to be worried about that specific subject right now. And I'm very excited to play my homme fatale, who maybe we'll see how he copes with action. Besides that, the Release Podcast released their monthly episode this week. It was recorded at Session Zero Con, which is a online conventions but based in Southeast Asia, in the Philippines and Malaysia. And a bunch of designers and artists from over there, which I interviewed during the online convention. Even some live ukulele performance and a few original tracks by an artist from there called Din Din, which are quite cool. And beside that, this weekend I recorded an episode of the RPG Academy Film Studies about Blade with Alex Roberts, author of Star-Crossed, among many other things, and For the Queen, and Eric Bernhardt, who's the author of Brinkwood, which is a game where you fight capitalist vampires. It's a Forge in the Dark game, and we had a lot of fun, and in the end we thought that Blade is a rather profound movie, something about radicalization and very many other very serious subjects that people don't realize.
Interesting. I have not watched Blade since it was out in the theaters. It's been a very long time, but I liked it at the time.
Also, the Bloodbath underground rave scene is kind of funny.
That was the best part, I thought. But I was also a teenager at the time. I was like, this is so cool.
A lot of iconic moments, and one of the conclusions from Alex Roberts was that it made her understand a lot where the aesthetics of many LARPists came from.
Interesting.
Trench coat, katana,
Yeah.
vampire. Yep, cool.
Sunglasses. Yep.
Oh, that predates Blade.
Well, it's part of, it's
That goes back
yeah,
to
of course.
Highlander.
We discussed that. I brought that up, but it's kind of it's a high watermark of the trench coat and cap.
Yeah.
Mm.
That
Yeah.
and the Matrix. I thought Steven Dorff was not very threatening as a bad guy.
Mm.
But I don't know. We can talk about
I
this.
thought he presented an interesting take on the Sabbat. If you view the old guard as the Camarilla and the younger vampires as the Sabbat, I thought it actually worked really well as a Camarilla-Sabbat duality from Vampire the Masquerade.
Mm.
Well, now I got to rewatch.
Join
it.
Ben on the Rollies podcast
Yeah.
next time.
Blade 2, now that is a gem. I like Blade 2 a lot. I like it way better than the
And
first
don't forget Blade Trinity, the awesomeness that was.
Anyways, Jeff. On that note, Jeff, tell us about Louis and what you got going on.
Louis, yeah, I'm playing Louis Salvatore, who is a private investigator out of New York, who left New York, because he just needed to get out of town for a bit. And so he got a job kind of working security or something for this expedition in Peru. And because it seemed like an easy gig, but like Jaden, wondering if this might be the last for Louis, as we're in a bit of trouble. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Maybe I pulled the gun on the wrong person. We'll see. Other than that, though, I wrote a little podcast, not a podcast, but a streaming channel called Adventures in Lollygagging. It used to be a podcast. So we're at twitch.tv/lollygaggers, and we play all sorts of different games. We play Alien, and starting this Monday over on the Free League channel, we're starting a brand new game. We're starting Things from the Flood, where we're playing angsty teens from the 90s, which is redundant, but I'm going to say it nonetheless. And we're starting that up 9 Central. If you want to come hang out, we're gonna do like a little sandboxy creation thing, and you can kind of get involved in building the sandbox that we're gonna play in for the next couple of months. So that's what I got going.
Sounds really cool.
Yeah, you get to relive your teenage years.
Oh yeah, I've been listening to all sorts of grunge music while I prep. So it's like Alice in Chains,
Nice.
Pearl Jam, all sorts of wonderful stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm young again. No,
Keep telling
not.
yourself. Yes. That's what we keep telling ourselves. Ben, can you tell us about
Hello.
Quentin and about what you have going on right now? Something special.
Finally, I have something going on at long last. Delay after delay. Yes, hello, I'm Ben from Garblag Games. I'm playing the Right Honourable Viscount Quentin Aloysius Goff, Peer of the Realm and Gentleman Scholar. And I, Ben, have a Kickstarter. Now that Pete and Matt have finished their excellent jobs, and I have a high watermark to aim for, my Kickstarter came out yesterday or the day before. Yeah. So it's been running for about 2 days now. Descendants of Darkness, a modern horror, superpowered, half extraplanar entity, spooky monster girl, spectacular, with wonderful art by Pat Long, who's doing some great illustrations for me. So yeah, come and check that out. It seems to be going really well. I'm pleasantly happy.
There's a link in the chat
Pleasantly happy. I like that.
for all of those
British.
things
Thank
that
you.
everyone's spoken about.
All right. So let's do some luck recovery before we get into this, because I think we're going to need some luck tonight. So I'll go over again how it works. It's a little convoluted. D100 roll. If the roll is higher than your current luck score, you roll 2d10 plus 10 and add that. If it's lower, 1d10 plus 5 and add that to your luck.
Ah,
So lower, you said it's sorry, you just said
1d10
it,
plus 5.
1d10, yeah.
Hey, you guys want to see something funny? Watch this roll. Look at that, 1%.
Holy crap. LC and Louis.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Max roll.
Clutch right there, actually. Gonna need it, I think.
While they're
you
rolling
are
their
gonna
luck,
need it.
I want to thank Chaosium, who has graciously provided us some PDF copies of the Call of Cthulhu starter set that we'll be giving away tonight. We'll be doing that, probably around the halfway mark. We'll break up the action and give away another PDF, so make sure you're tuned in for that. And also to Sirenscape, who is providing the enhanced audio experience. We have sounds playing right now. They're quite subtle, playing in the background as we lead into the game. But thank you to both those companies for being a part and helping us with this experience and bringing this game. All right, we got our luck rolls out of the way. It looks like Louis and LC are the big winners this week, but Quentin's not too far behind. All right, so last week, what happened last week? Well, you were all detained in your hotel. The police were keeping you there. You're under watch for the murder that took place at the university by your own hands. You killed Louis de Mendoza, and so you're being kept at the hotel. You're told not to leave Peru as you're under investigation. Well, Louis and Jaden, they can't be contained. So they decided they were going to go meet up with Larkin and get to the bottom of what's going on after the horrific things they saw from Louis, or de Mendoza, I should call him, not to get confused with our Louis. And LC and Gwen had an idea to distract the police officers that were out in front of the hotel. Gwen, with some quick thinking and some marvelous acting skills, got the two police officers into the hotel and convinced them that she had lost something and she needed their help. And they were completely convinced, and they jumped in and they tried helping and looking for this. Quentin rang the consulate, saying, "I need a lawyer, I need legal representation," and tried to acquire the saber, or the sword that was dropped by de Mendoza. But unfortunately, that was not an option. Meanwhile, LC took a stroll and let the air out of the tires on the police cruiser that was out front, stuck a banana in the tailpipe, and picked up a newspaper out of the front seat of the car, which revealed that de Mendoza was, DOA, but his body was missing as of this morning from the morgue. Louis...
Thereby making us completely innocent.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's right.
I
you're no
object
longer
to your
murderers.
use of the term murder.
Well, somebody took.
Or we stole his
corpse.
body to hide the evidence.
Yeah.
Listen, I have an alibi for that. I was breaking into their hotel room, so I.
We've already got rerolls for Jaden in the chat. I see.
I just got one from the
Yep.
foul.
And you got one as well. Okay.
Yeah, I got one too.
All
See,
right.
these guys were so worried. They were like, "Oh God, we're gonna die. We can't
gonna
use our
die still.
rerolls from last week." And I was like, "No,
No,
Garblag got you back."
No, they're still gonna die.
Just asking questions,
Yeah.
All right. So Jaden and Louis, you went to the Hotel España where Larkin and de Mendoza were staying. On the way there, you caught a glimpse, Louis, did you not, of someone watching you from across the street down a...
Yeah, I saw
another-
somebody. I'm not sure if they were watching, if you described it as them watching us, or if we just kind of locked eyes for a moment. And
Yeah.
They were well dressed, I think.
Wide
and then
brim
they,
hat.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then they
Looked-
dove down an alley, and we lost them.
European or Caucasian, American in appearance. And yeah, you lost them. But you went to the hotel. You found Larkin in his room, passed out in a drug-induced coma. His room was a mess. It stunk terrible in there. But you couldn't find anything of use. You went next door into de Mendoza's room, and you found a weird object under his bed. A mask of some sorts.
Made of gold.
Made of gold. You did say you're going to find gold under there. And Jaden tried to determine some sort of information about this mask, but was unable to really glean anything from it. So then you decided to go back to Larkin's room and wake him up. And kind of like say, "Hey, what's going on here?" Well, you woke him up, and he was a little disoriented, and everything was good to start. Jaden had everything under control. And then Louis had to go and draw a gun on Larkin. And that's when things got a little rough. That's when...
Matt's coloring this with a little of his own.
I don't think so. Jaden was doing a great job. Just kind of talking to Larkin. Yeah. So then you drew a gun. I started blasting, and he told you
Just took it out of my pocket. I just took it out of my pocket. That's all.
Still just stop threatening him, and you did not back down. And he all of a sudden his posture changed. He stood upright, because Larkin is always kind of like hunched over, not really sure of himself and the way he held himself. Stood up straight, his eyes rolled back in his head, went completely black, and started to threaten you. And that's where we left off. So, let's get back to the action. Let's pick it up. So you're standing there. Larkin is speaking. His voice almost sounds a little different. It's still his voice, but it's got confidence, and it's a little bit bassier. He says, "Do not threaten me. I will end you before this even begins."
So Larkin's body is like demonstrably like not human right now, or is it just the eyes?
It is still human. It's just his eyes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I will say, hey, no one's threatening no one. That's all. Just calm down. I think you've just been taking a little too much of the candy. Just settle down now. We're just talking. That's all. Just talking.
Surely all of this is just a terrible misunderstanding, I said from behind Larkin.
Yeah. Just no, it's fine. You getting nervous about this? I'll just put it away. No problem. And I'll just go ahead and start to slide it back into my pocket.
Sure, as you slide back, all of a sudden the room, you feel, the two of you feel almost like a gust of wind, but it's odd because you're indoors. And all of a sudden the clothes and the paper and the sheets and everything that's scattered on the floor starts kind of like kick up and start twirling in this room. And Larkin just kind of keeps walking towards you. You look outside and nothing's happening outside, but this room, there's like a confined, almost like windstorm taking place in here. And that's when all of a sudden you see a light behind Larkin. It seems to just appear out of nowhere, and it's just a pinhole at first, and it starts to get wider and wider as the room fills with wind. I need both of you to make a sanity check, please.
Okay.
I am behind Larkin, so where's this light between me and
The light
him?
is behind you then. It's between you and Larkin, then you, and then this light, this pinhole that's just getting
So I don't
larger
see
and
it.
larger, and there's swirling. You don't see. Well, you look around as the room is like gusting around you, and debris is being kicked up. I should change the music for this. We need something more dramatic.
No. This is fine. We're just talking. We're just talking. Whoa, wait, hey! I put the gun away.
Whoa.
What are you talking? What are you doing here? What are you doing with those gunshots?
Okay, how did everybody do on the sanity roll? You passed. Okay,
Passed.
you passed. So you keep together. You're the two of you are like, what is happening here? And Larkin just keeps walking towards you, Lou. Even as you put the gun away, he just keeps walking at you. He doesn't say anything, but he's standing upright, erect. Eyes are completely black, and you see it swirling more and more. And this light, this circle of light, just keeps growing and growing behind him.
Hey, there's no reason. And I'll try to wave Jaden, and like I'll start to move so that the door is available to Jaden, and I'll kind of like wave towards the door. But hey, there's no reason to get excited. I apologize. All right, I got a little jumpy. It's been kind of a strange day. Everything's fine. And I'm just like more panically starting to wave.
So a
Jaden.
little clarification, because Jaden
Yes.
would be aware of that. First question, is there a window behind me?
So, great question. There is. I'll tell you what. I didn't know how this was gonna go. Here's a map that you should be able to see. Can you see that?
We have all the elements
Like,
in
there's a
hand.
map. No.
Can you see? Are you able to see this?
No.
Oh, it's all black. I'll change that.
Did you give a tokens vision?
No, that's the problem. So there is a balcony. There's not just a window. There's a balcony that you can get out onto.
Okay. Okay. And my second question was, we were at the first floor?
You're on the second floor.
Second. Now we can see the map. Okay. Zooming, dezooming. Oh,
All right,
where-
so we'll
Is
say
it where-
so. We got Louis
yeah.
is standing near the door. There's the bed, Larkin, you, and then this portal behind you. And there's like a desk behind you. There's a stool that's been knocked over, and papers and clothes are swirling up all around you.
Okay.
Oh.
Wow, I did not realize I was so far from. So I'm even far from the window, actually.
You could dash. So Larkin is though going around the bed and just fixated on Louis. He is not paying attention to you whatsoever.
Okay. Is there a lamp on the bedside table?
Yes.
Okay. So. Okay. Okay. I will try. I will wait first. So Larkin is probably at the head of the bed now, at the feet of the bed.
Yeah, he's going around and he's fixated on Louis, and just walking towards him. And you've got this light that's growing larger and larger, and you can't really see anything on the other end. It's just blackness. But you can hear now at this point, as it's getting bigger and bigger, you can almost hear like a growling or something on the other side of this. You've never seen anything like it. And while Larkin's walking towards Louis, he's just he's chanting. He's chanting now in an undecipherable language that neither of you have ever heard. If you want, you can roll a language. Just roll, be it a 1% to try and determine it. But you've never heard anything quite like it before.
Okay, language. Let's try it.
It's not language own. So is it language? Just roll language own or?
No. Can you add a language to your character sheet? It'll just be a 1%. I'll tell you what. Just roll a D100.
I'll roll it. I'll roll it as Latin because my Latin's 1%. I'll just roll it as that.
Sure,
for now.
that works. 10.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, neither of you.
I don't understand. How could your Latin possibly only be 1%?
I didn't really pay attention in Catholic school. Sorry.
Neither of you are able to decipher. Jaden, you feel like there's bits and pieces. You feel like you're almost there, but then you hear just strange syllables and words and combinations that just don't make sense to you.
Okay, I'm gonna move behind Larkin, keeping my distance.
Sure.
But my destination is the balcony.
Okay.
So that hopefully Louis can still attract a bit Larkin, but I know that you like whenever you're ready you can scamper away through the door, and I will scamper. I'll try to go down the balcony to the balcony on the lower floor. That's what I'm gonna do.
I think we're on the same page. If I see you start drifting over, I'll be like fast, like hey, I'll just try to keep the attention on me, like hey, and I'll like reach behind, turn the doorknob with my arm, slowly push it off. Listen, we're really sorry here. This is just all a big misunderstanding. Looking like really panicked over at this light and the growling sounds.
Yeah, the growling is getting louder and louder. I'll tell you what, Jaden, you start making your way over to the balcony. You get there. You're watching. You're peeking back. The two of you see what appears to be some sort of ghoulish, almost clawed hand poke out from this light circle behind Larkin. I'm gonna get both of you to make me another sanity check as you see this hand. You've never seen it. It's not human, and it's got long clawed fingers on the end. But you make it to the balcony, and you look down at the street and you look back over your shoulder, and you're just in disbelief of what you see, Jaden. And but there are people down below. There are like stalls and shops set up along the street. You could easily kind of like hang off the balcony and hop your way down, you think, with little to no harm. You're maybe only 15 feet at the most up, and you could dangle and hang off this balcony to get down. Louis, you're having a harder time keeping it together here, unfortunately, with what you're witnessing. That's 5 sanity loss. So if you want, I'm rolling as Dave Mendoza. If you want, you could spend luck to reduce that, because 5 sanity or more at one time of loss sends you into a bout of madness.
Can we use our channel rerolls?
You can use your channel reroll. Yes,
Okay.
you can.
I'll give it a go. It's mostly 50-50, so. No.
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 Less luck. at least.
Do you want to spend some luck?
I'll spend some lucks. How much luck would I have to spend? Let's see.
You can click on it.
Oh boy, that's
I think it's 30.
23. It's 20.
Do
Would be. I can't count. 30. Yeah, it'd be 30.
Otherwise, you could have a bout of madness.
I'm gonna
see
do
what
it.
that looks like.
I'll spend my luck.
Okay. They
Bout of
usually ask
madness.
for 1d10 hours, so it could be fun. You could be mad for quite some time.
Mhm.
All right,
Mhm.
Jaden, I'm gonna get you to make me a roll just to hop down from there. Can you go ahead and make me? Oh, what do we got? What's the equivalent of like athletics or climbing in this? Let me see
With
here.
this climb,
Jump,
bad
There's
at it.
climb.
Is
There's
there
climb?
actual?
Oh, is there
yeah.
climb? Yeah, go ahead and make me
Yep.
a climb roll, please. It'll be a standard difficulty.
Okay. So that would cost me 40 luck. Is that possible?
28 luck, isn't it?
28 luck to pass.
Oh. 28 to pass. Okay, I'm gonna spend them.
Oh, these
Very
people
good.
with all this luck to throw around.
So you hang from the balcony. You wait till there's like a cart going by, a horse-drawn cart, and you just kind of gently fall into the back of that cart. The guy who's driving turns around and he says something in Spanish. He's startled. You just kind of dust yourself off and get out. Louis, you're at the door and you're just making an exit. You're like,
Once I see Jaden
Yep.
go over the side,
Yep.
I bolt. I run
okay,
with my rooks. My little sack over my shoulder with all the goodies in it. Still.
very good. You know what, Jaden, you had a free reroll also. If you don't want to spend that luck, do you want to do that first and maybe save yourself the 28 luck, or do you want to hang on to your reroll?
Well, the chances of succeeding at that, I think how much? I didn't roll that poorly, so
Okay.
I really doubt I would have done better.
Very good. All right, so the two of you are almost in shock, in disbelief, what you witnessed in the hotel room. That was not Larkin. Whatever that was not Larkin. Something manifested itself within him. Are the two of you going to try and meet up down the street, or what's the plan here now that you've split?
Yeah, I'm gonna immediately run to wherever I would think the window, like what side of the building with the window, and I'll be looking for Jaden at this point.
Sure. Jaden, whereabouts are you going to the front to find Louis, or are you just booking it back to the hotel, or what would you do?
I think, considering my natural charm and so on, that I'm so, I don't know if the word, but elated that whoever was driving that cart is busy holding my hand and sort of trying to shake me off of
Yes.
what's happening. I'm just there. So that's where Louis finds me sort of in shock.
We gotta go. Let's go. We gotta go. We gotta
Louis!
move. Let's go.
Yes, let's go.
Yeah. You saw the thing coming out of the thing,
You
and it
see
was
that? No, I don't think we saw that. That's.
But it-
I don't think it's
was-
possible.
it was crap. No, let's just go. Let's just go.
Let's go.
And I'll take a quick look around to see if we're being followed at all. And then we'll head back to our hotel. That's
I
okay,
think
man.
Jaden doesn't resist, despite being scared. Having a look at the balcony up
Mhm.
there.
Yeah, take a look back up the balcony. It looks like the wind is no longer kicking up. You don't see anything. You don't see Larkin. You don't see whatever the hell that thing was, and you don't see like debris. You don't see the clothes and the papers being kicked up anymore. It's silence. It seems to, as far as you can tell, stop. And nobody on the street seemed to have noticed anything either.
I think if we don't see anything, like if I don't see anyone following us and there's nothing up at the balcony, like
You can make me a spot hidden roll. Both of you can make me a spot hidden roll
Okay.
as you take in the surroundings.
I enjoy rolling spot hidden rolls.
Holy
that's
moly, Jaden, you're watching up the balcony and you're taken in by this whole situation and the cart. So you're not able to kind of pick out anything in particular. But Louis, you scan the area, and you're convinced that you did a good once over, and you don't see anyone or anything out of the ordinary.
Let's get back to the others. Let's show Quentin what we found. We got some goodies, and let's just I need a drink. You do need a drink? I need a drink. I need a
Yes,
drink.
I do. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I always need one, but that's fine. So, yeah, we're heading back, I think.
Drinks all around. All right, let's cut back to Quentin, Gwen, and LC. So while this was going on, while this was playing out, what were the three of you doing? You were still in the bar. You were with Jackson. You were looking at the newspaper last, and the article about De Mendoza body disappearing overnight.
Yeah, and I'd got a bit worried and was insisting that no one go anywhere on their own, just in case someone was after us. Some weird
I was
people.
shouting about weird African cults and death gods.
That's right, you were.
Oh yes, yeah.
A lot of fixation on mouths, if I recall.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff about like
Give me
human
flashbacks.
sacrifice.
You're giving me flashbacks of the big maggot thing.
Oh, not to Australia then.
Oh, that too.
It's a very sharp guava.
I don't really remember much of the Australian tour, to be honest with you, old chap. Bit of a mess, but you know.
So with no body, does that mean we're free as a bird? Like can we go tell those coppers outside that they can go take a walk? Like,
I think we
Well,
have
no,
to wait for
this paper was in their car, so they're aware of this.
but they have to wait for their superiors to tell us that we're no longer people of interest in the case. Now they've been watching us, so they must know that we're not responsible for the disappearance of the body. But it does lend further credence to the cult theory. They're not going to want any of their individuals, their members, to be out in public where their identifying marks or ritual scarification might be noticed.
fair enough.
Mm.
I'll go to Elias and just say, Mr. Elias, like, do you know what Larkin's plan is for our trip into the jungle? Like, do you know where we need to be and who we need to meet? You know, in case we have to kind of circumvent the law to find it, so we can get going on this next adventure.
Sorry, I'm setting up a raid here. Jackson Elias, all I know is the trucks are showing up on Monday. That's tomorrow. And I think we get those trucks and we get out of here. There's something going on. And
But do we get on there with Larkin? I mean, we need to hear what Louis and Jaden.
why wouldn't we go with Larkin? He's got money. He's funding this thing. We can always, find out what's going on as we get closer. He's up to something. With De Mendoza out of the picture, I think our chances...
But he knew about De Mendoza. I mean, he hired the chap. And then he's been murdering people? How do we... raid.
Murder? What? Who's murdering people?
De Mendoza.
Who did he murder? Oh, that poor boy at the university.
And the lady in the basement.
The professor tried to kill the professor.
Tried to kill the professor.
Right. This is Jackson. He's kind of... remember, he's a skeptic. So he's sitting there and he leans back and he lights his pipe and you see him think. He kind of takes us all in. Yeah. Yes. Well, let's wait to see what Jaden and Louis have to say about Larkin and how their conversation went. And with that, we're gonna have Louis and Jaden, a disheveled Louis and Jaden, crash into the bar that the four of you are sitting in and discussing this.
Ignore the table entirely. Go right up to the bar.
I've got a glass for you already.
And I'll drink it as I'm passing by. And I'll go right to the bar and get like a bottle, and then I'll look to Jaden. Oh, did you want some too?
Make it double, please.
Okay. And so they give me another bottle. And I just hand the bottle around over to Jaden, and we turn back.
So your fact-finding tour went well then, chaps?
And I will drop in. Louis will just drop right in your lap, like this rucksack, and you hear some things clinking around in it. And inside is the mask that we found, and also the two artifacts that I swiped that we were shown initially. So I'll just drop them right in Quentin's lap. Yeah. We got that.
Was he not there then? You just raided his place and came back?
He was there. Yeah, he was there. And
It's,
just sort of shaking.
is everything all right, old boy? You're shaking a little.
Oh, yeah, he was there, but he was different. Different, right, Jaden? Different. He was different.
I don't know. I think Mr. Larkin is engaging into the consumption of heavy drugs. And I think we've been exposed to whatever that individual was consuming in his bedroom. We found him in the most despicable state. And before we left the bedroom, apparently, Louis, you suffered from the same ailment as I did. I started hallucinating horrible things. I don't know. Was Mr. Larkin consuming opium or something else? I have no idea. It must have been all over his room to get me in such a state.
No. You know, I've dabbled a little bit here and there, and this was different. There was wind, and there was a light, and there was a growl and a claw, and I didn't see any puppy anywhere in the room.
You have a dog?
No dog.
Can you hear yourself? The wind, the light. I think.
Did he have a weird mouth?
I did.
What are you talking about?
But his eyes went black, like all black, all of them, just no whites, no iris, nothing, just black.
What? I was behind him. I didn't see any of that. I just saw this light and.
He was looking right at me.
It does rather sound like you've been affected by some psychotropic drugs.
No.
Quite common down around these parts, you know.
No. This is something else. This is no.
You know, they got there are things. You know, tribes in jungles all over the world are known to. You know, they have access to substances.
Indeed.
Unknown.
Toad venom.
I check their eyes and see if they're like pupils are dilated, or if they're bloodshot, or they've got any signs of anyone having like injected them with anything.
Sure, you could do a medicine roll.
The only sign of things you will find.
Can I do first aid?
I'll give you
Pulse is
first
kinda
aid as
racing.
well. Fine, do a first aid.
Oh no, I'll do medicine. I've got 1%
But it could be a
medicine.
hard roll at first aid or a straight medicine roll.
Okay,
Poking your eyes.
I'll do a hard roll on first
Just by the
aid.
cheek. Why are you
Blood
touching
did
us?
me.
Yeah.
He bandages up your arm,
Oh no!
puts you in the recovery position.
You kind of squint and you lean in and you're studying the two of them, but they're acting so erratic and they're just drinking uncontrollably and they're spewing nonsense that you're not able to really pick up on anything in particular.
I'm gonna go stand behind Jaden and just like give him a little massage on his shoulders and like fan him a little bit and.
That feels good. Thank you so much.
So Louis, you happy we're getting in a truck with Mr. Larkin tomorrow?
No. That's we should get a different truck. We should go away. We should buy tickets and just go elsewhere. Anywhere else would be good. Yeah. Mm-mm.
Well, let's see what you found first, shall we?
Yeah. You go ahead.
Maybe we should go somewhere more secluded.
Jackson.
Is there anybody else in the bar?
There are a few others. There's not really a couple stories. It's the middle of the afternoon. There's just like the odd other hotel guest that's in here, but nobody's really paying attention to the group of you. And there's the bartender. Jackson says, "This is preposterous. Are you sure you didn't take some of those drugs that Larkin?"
I'm
is
sure.
consuming?"
I didn't take no drugs. I'm clean. I have some booze in me. This ain't drugs. It was something else, man. It was something else.
Okay.
I didn't consume anything over there, so maybe it was in the air, Mr. Jackson?
Possibly. Where did you find this? And he points at the sack. Was this in Larkin's room?
we found the sack, and one thing, it's like it's like a golden mask. It was underneath Mendoza's bed, and then the other two things. Well, that was in Larkin's room.
Okay.
At least I'm glad that Mr. Mendoza, we don't have to worry about him anymore. Because those two seem to be in cahoot and they're probably as terrible as one another.
His room's nice and clean too, but I don't know why I remember that. And then just going back to drinking.
I will lean
Maybe
on
we
to
should
Jackson
repair
Elias.
to
I
one of
His
the
body's
rooms.
disappeared.
Oh,
I beg your
I
pardon.
fully Jackson
I'll
Elias.
throw the paper down on the dramatically in between them.
It lands at exactly
LC's
the
starting
right
to enjoy
headline-
this now.
headline.
Things
Louis
are getting
reaches for his
exciting.
gun. Looking around. Sorry,
Louis,
I'm a little
old
jumpy.
chap, calm down. Things are finally getting exciting. I thought we were going on some boring drive into the jungle, but this all actually sounds thrilling, like an
It was-
adventure.
It was.
Absolutely, Elsie.
It is all rather a bit boy's own, isn't it? Sorry, Miss Murphy.
Taken. So there's a mask, right? You said something about a mask. Let's see it.
Sure. And Jaden, sorry,
Well,
what were you doing? Something with
Jaden did
Jackson?
say that we should go somewhere a little more discreet. So perhaps we should repair to my room,
Very well.
and we can take a look there.
So
No, we could leave the door open if you feel more safe, Miss Murphy.
Oh, no. I have all of you to protect me.
I'd actually.
Well, let's go. Actually, do you know what? I'm gonna go over to the bartender. Oh, he doesn't speak English, does he?
I'll say he does. There's enough foreigners that come through here that picked up some English.
So, barkeep, a couple of bottles up to the Viscount's room, and do you have a porter, somebody that could pop over and grab a camera? Is there any place to buy a camera? I feel like we're gonna need it.
He directs you to the front desk. Ask for someone to give him the money
Excellent.
and someone can get you a camera.
Under Larkin's bill, of course.
Larkin said you pay for it and he'll reimburse you.
I'll put it on my
Well, that's
account.
not happening, is
Awesome.
Here's $50. That should be enough, I would hope.
You'll be-
You go to the front desk and they look at it, their eyes huge. Like, oh, you see, that's more. Yes, that should be
Can
enough, just enough.
Can I get someone to go and buy me a rifle
Get armor?
with some ammunition?
Yes, yeah. You could also ask them to pick up a rifle. That's not uncommon at all, actually.
Mhm.
Around
We're
here.
going into
So
the jungle, so there might be,
a camera and a rifle
Dangerous.
and ammunition. Okay.
dangerous animals.
That $50 should cover both of those and then some. $50 in 1921 or whatever it is. Holy crap. That's a lot of money
college
you're
was
throwing
that?
around.
Big money, isn't it?
Jaden, what's his name? Jackson Lice. You know, as you come back and tell us what happened, he does seem concerned for your well-being when you come back.
Well, I really lean on him.
Mhm.
And if we
I'm just going to do some mental arithmetic and convert those dollars into pounds and then go, oh,
I asked him if he heard if in his past adventures he had heard similar stories or anything like that. What do you think? Am I losing my mind?
He leans
with
in and he says, "No,
Big deer eyes.
no. I've encountered all sorts of strange things in my travels around the world, and there's always a logical explanation to everything."
That's reassuring. Thank you so much, Jackson. And I put my hand on his.
Okay. And now we're going to head to Quentin's room and take a look at this mask, this golden mirror mask. Everybody? Or do some of you want to go?
Yeah.
What's the plan?
Yeah, we should probably all stick together, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
All right, so bottles, you guys all head upstairs. Shortly after that, there's a knock at the door and some bottles of alcohol are delivered. with some glasses, a glass for everyone.
Excellent. Slip him $10.
Really? Wow. The porter.
Ah,
who
the
Got a load of
idle
money.
rich.
I got a load of money, and we're going into the jungle.
The
It's like,
porter
where am I
looks at
gonna
it and his
spend
eyes are
money?
wide, and it's just like, thank you, thank you, senor, and puts it in his jacket pocket. All right.
LCL
Does he
chap, I
speak
think we've
English?
rather got their currency the wrong way round.
They've picked up, like, everybody who works this hotel has picked up
Yeah.
some English, being here and around foreigners.
Let-
So it's like
I'll say to
broken
the
English.
lad then, let me know if anyone's asking for us. If anyone at the front desk asks for us, come and tell me quickly.
Shoot them.
I'll
Shoot them.
I'll intersperse and I'll say, white hat, Caucasian. If you see something like that in the lobby, you come get me.
All right. He's
Or a guy with a big mouth.
a big round mouth with a whole bunch of teeth, jagged teeth. He kind of darts between the two of you guys are both speaking to him, but he seems to understand and comprehend what you're asking. Si,
Cool.
senors.
Right, shut the door.
Okay. Shut the door. You've got
Excuse
this.
the mess, everybody. I haven't had much of a chance to tidy up. The room looks like nobody's actually been in it. There are 2 books on the side table.
One is slightly misaligned with the other. I'm going to watch the door, and I've got my cricket bat with me.
Is there a window in here?
There's window.
Yeah, I
There's
see.
also a balcony, just like Larkin's room.
All right. I'm going to go over to the window. I'm going to close the curtains and such. And then I'm going to, like, leaning up against the wall, just peeking out of it every so
Sure.
often.
Pistol
You're
drawn.
uncomfortable, old
No,
man.
no, no,
Take a
no.
chair. Take a chair.
Hand in the pocket, though. Hand in the pocket. No. I'm good. I'm good to stand. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Right. Well, let's take a look at what we've got here, then, shall we?
Yeah. So do you
I
want to
shall
dump it on your
carefully
bed?
open the sack and.
Gotcha.
Oh God, no! I'm not dumping anything anywhere. These are priceless artifacts.
He's carefully
I'm going to
open
put
it.
some gloves on.
Yes, and there's a
Little pair of white gloves. Carefully open the sack.
You see right away, as soon as the light hits whatever's in there, you see the glint of gold, pure gold. And as you start to roll the sack down around this thing, you see an object that's roughly 6 inches square, and it looks like it's some sort of mask. I'll share the image with all of you once again of this mask. There's blocky geometrical shapes rising from the surface, and it's solid and has no eye holes. And then, as described last week as well, it seems like that you could attach a string or something on the back of it to affix it to someone's face, but it's weird that there are no eye holes on it. And the back of it is polished to like a brilliant shine, where it's reflective in nature.
Fascinating. The lack of eye holes would certainly suggest some kind of ritual use. I mean, obviously the mask itself is inherently ritual, but the shortage of eye holes would suggest that it would potentially be for the recipient or the, should we say, donor of a ritual rather than for the leader of the ritual. Unless the leader of the ritual was expecting to call on something that it was unworthy to behold, perhaps.
I'm sorry, did you say donor? What? Donor of what?
It's not uncommon for certain cultures to engage in what we might regard as barbaric practices, in which potentially a life might be given up in service of tribe or nation or local gods or superstitions. Now, under those circumstances, sometimes the sacrifice, sorry, Miss Murphy, I don't mean to be so crass,
Please.
would cover their eyes, would have their eyes covered so as to go peacefully to their sort of ritual end, if you like.
Doesn't sound very peaceful to me.
Oh, quite often, make no mistake, quite often the people involved in these things would go willingly. Not always the case, though. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let me have a proper investigate on this thing. So
Can you make me an archaeology roll, please?
Didn't Louis say
No,
that his
because
eyes
I'm
went
shonky
black?
at
Like
it.
he couldn't.
I'm not an archaeologist. I'm an anthropologist and a historian.
Okay, make me an anthropology roll, but it'll be at a hard difficulty. Archaeology is
I
the
can handle
go-to
that.
one here. Would be the sweet spot. Anybody who wants to can make an archaeology roll, looking this thing over.
Oh yeah, let's go for it.
All right. So, Quentin, Elsie, do you want to spend some?
I'm like peering by I'm near the front door with the cricket bat over my shoulder, and I'm kind of peering over. I haven't got a clue what's going on.
Yeah, sorry, archaeology was. I took a pass on archaeology, thinking history and anthropology would be more relevant. My bad.
So you're looking.
Spend a load of luck to get a roll done. And
I
then
don't
you can
have a
bump it
load
up.
of luck.
Oh,
Just
but
keep
remember, if you
making
spend luck, you
archaeology
don't-
tests.
if you spend luck to succeed at a roll, it doesn't go towards being a successful roll
Oh
at the end of the session
yeah,
for leveling
good point.
up.
Good point.
So
Oh yeah.
don't burn your luck if you're hoping to
Rerolls.
increase your archaeology. Okay.
Jackson,
First things first. Quentin, you just looking over it, it looks like this thing is of similar design to the pendant that Larkin showed you that first night in the bar.
We've got that as well, haven't we?
You do have that as well. I need you to make me a POW roll, please. POW. And while you're doing that, it looks like this
That's close.
object.
Now I can afford the luck on that.
Oh, you just gotta reroll too.
Oh, I just got.
for a
I'll
reroll.
take the reroll on that then.
As you're looking this thing over, you can tell that this
That won't
is
get you any.
similar design to the artifacts that were found at Taiwan Naku, a pre-Columbian archaeological site in western Bolivia that you've heard of. Did you succeed your power roll with your reroll?
I did succeed the power roll.
Okay. So Quentin's looking this thing over, and you're all staring at him, and he's engrossed in this thing, and you're waiting for him to say something. As he's looking over, he spins around back, and he starts looking in the reflective surface in the back of this thing. And with that, his eyes just kind of glaze over, and he seems to be elsewhere as he's staring at this thing. Quentin, you're staring at this, and you look, and you see your reflection come back at you in the back of this mirrored surface. And you see yourself, but all of a sudden it starts to shift and swirl what you're seeing on the back of this mask. And at first you're bombarded with an image. And you're standing, looking out the window of a train. And you see out the window sweeping vistas of African plains passing by, accompanied by a strong smell of smoke that hits your nostrils. And then suddenly screaming rings out. As you're pulled away suddenly from that, you have another vision in front of you. And you're standing there. You're standing out on a plain. And suddenly the sun in the sky goes completely black. And tentacles of darkness start to spread across the sky, consuming the world around you. And you try to scream, you try to let out anything and escape from this, and all of a sudden you snap back to the room. And everybody's standing there staring at you. As you're looking at this man, and you're holding the mask still.
You're
I
okay,
shall-
old, you okay, old
Very
chap?
tentatively put the mask down. So yes, I do believe there might be an African connection. And then I shall pour myself a triple glass of rum.
You've never seen Quentin consume alcohol like this before.
Yeah, Louis nodding and all right.
Was he like transfixed for a certain amount of time, or was
He
it
was.
quite
I was going to
quickly?
say he was transfixed for minutes, a few minutes. We'll say 3 to 5 minutes. He was just
Okay.
staring, motionless at this thing, and all of you
Yeah.
were kind of like, Quentin,
You kind of
Quentin.
You kind of went you went somewhere else, old chap. You looked like you fell asleep with your eyes open.
It certainly felt that way. Yes. I'm see that I would wonder if this weren't coated in some kind of psychoactive. Except I'm wearing gloves for just such an eventuality. Also because I didn't want to get it dirty.
Go ahead and make me a
How
sanity
very
roll.
strange.
Make me a sanity roll, please, Quentin. After seeing
A
these
sanity
visions.
roll.
Oh. Okay, so
Pshaw.
Pshaw. You're made of sanity. You lose 2 sanity. Despite passing your sanity roll, go ahead and deduct 2 sanity, please.
Plenty more where that came from.
Okay. A little bit of you has chipped away. You are seeing, it's all coming to you. You're starting to connect the pieces. What were we saying last week? That you have one of those maps or boards in your room with the wires going between things?
Yeah.
Between the cult in Africa, the bloody tongue, this strange language that you read, now this mask, these visions. You feel like you're starting to see the world for what it really is. And you can't really cope with it.
So I shall sit and drink my rum in fairly short
Sure.
order without being crass about it. Well, that was probably best that this is away from Larkin and Mendoza, to be honest. I can see how this could be an encouragement to their type.
Jackson kind of leaned like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What happened? Tell us about this object.
It caused me to remember things that I'd read and seen.
Is it Peruvian? It is Peruvian.
It is Peruvian, yes, in itself. It's reminiscent of artifacts found at, what did you say, Matt?
Oh, sorry, it's Bolivian, Western Bolivia. There is an archaeological site there, pre-Columbian archaeological site in Western Bolivia. It dates and tracks the objects that have been found there.
Yeah, Bolivian. Pre-Columbrian.
Got you to remember.
And it had me thinking about Africa.
Why? Jackson, that's the other side of the world almost. What?
Well, yes, quite. But it had me thinking about a place in Africa I've only ever read about. So that's unusual. I was shown. I'm starting to speak with the mumbo jumbo myself. It made me remember a story I'd heard of a place in Africa. There's a train line there, tribesfolk nearby. Very odd indeed. And yes, as you said, chaps, there's a certain nightmarish quality to it, as though this item has been used in some kind of deeply unpleasant ritual.
You're in the wrong country, is that what you're saying?
No, this is a South American artifact, but it has a connection somehow to African cults.
Okay.
What do you mean connection? Did you do African tribes?
Well, fascinatingly enough, I did hear
Craftsmen?
that once upon a time,
I turn around and start looking at the door.
some scientists actually believe that once the South American continent and the African continent once slotted together quite neatly. Obviously, it's quite a controversial theory,
Surely that thing is not that old.
but that would suggest significant age. Now, this item itself is not that old, but it seems to belong to a tradition that may date back to ancient times.
I need another drink.
There's a lot of strange things going on,
There is a lot of
Which
very
is-
strange things going on.
which
This
is very interesting and exciting.
This is entirely queer.
But what are we going to do about Larkin? Are we really going to go with him? Or are we just going to try and gazump him and get on the trucks and head off early?
I think we should try and go without him. If what these chaps have said about Larkin being involved with Mendoza in that way, I think perhaps we should leave him behind and probably stop him getting his hands on any more of these artifacts. If they're going to encourage him to cause some kind of cult revival, and we all know the mess that happened with that LeVay chap, we don't want that again, do we?
LeVay? Who's that individual?
Wait, no, LeVay's too recent. Lima. Who did Lima? Religious, culty chap, Britain, early part of the 20th century. What was his
That
name?
chap. Yes. Oh,
Crowley.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Alistair Crowley, yes. Crowley and his ilk. We don't need another one of those this soon, especially not with the war not too long ago.
Mm-hmm. With that,
It's important that these things go to a museum and not into the hands of private collectors.
Suddenly, there's a knock at the door. Doom, 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 doom. And let's do a giveaway for some Call of Cthulhu starter sets.
To give away at the door.
Let's do. Yeah. By the way,
I open the door and I receive a Call of Cthulhu starter set.
Sanity Rule.
Oh. The chat right now, there's a poll happening, and they want Louis to put the mask on.
What?
I don't know if you saw that, Jeff.
Louis,
but 100% of the votes are that you put the mask on.
Who's going to put who do you want to put the mask on? I voted for Louis.
Is this the same chat that decided that just because I had some white gloves that I was a vampire?
Yes, that's the other thing.
Because I wouldn't take archaeology because you had to go somewhere uninvited.
All right, I'll let Pete get set up here for the giveaway. I will say a word, and you were gonna. What is it? You do hashtag in that word? Is that what you do, Pete?
Yep.
And that will enter you in the giveaway to win the Call of Cthulhu starter set from Chaosium. So thank you very much to Chaosium for providing that for us.
I'm ready.
You're good to go? All right, let's do hashtag mask. M-A-S-K, hashtag mask. Drop that in the chat now. That'll enter you in to win a Call of Cthulhu starter set. This episode is revolved around this mask, and now Quentin has had some unsettling visions, thanks to staring into the back of the mask. And the chat wants Louis to put the mask on.
Talking about unsettling visions, Ben, you look like Robin Williams in the Woody Allen movie.
That's because he's a vampire. Cameras can't properly focus on vampires.
Can't properly perceive him.
Hashtag mask will get you entered. We've got a few folks here that got in on it. Louis, you won. You won
the poll.
Well, I guess I just gotta do it, you know.
All right, we'll give it a few more seconds here.
Yeah.
All right, should we pick a winner? Draw a winner? Not pick.
Sure.
Who will be this week's winner?
Click the button. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Non-anomaly is the winner.
I thought that said Nightbot had won. Like, my God, it's become self-aware.
It's taking over. Yeah.
Congratulations. Non-anomaly.
Well done, non-anomaly.
You're already in the Discord, so you know how to get a hold of Pete.
Yep.
And claim your prize. All right, let's get back to it.
Not in the Discord.
No?
No, if anyone's not in the Discord, here's a link.
There's the link. Join the Discord. You can join the conversation between shows. For Call of Cthulhu, we got Travelers starting up on Thursday. There's Alien on Fridays. Is that still going, Ben? Is there still one more?
Yes, last episode this Friday.
Last episode this Friday.
And we got Star Wars Ranger Squadron tomorrow.
Very good. All right, knock at the door. Dunk, 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 dunk. Elsie, you're at the door. Oh, you're kind of startled. Even though you're looking at the door, you were prepared for something, you were watching it, still, you're kind of pulled out of it when there's a knock at the door.
Okay. A cricket bat over my shoulder. I got to get in my forward defensive position that I'd normally take at the crease, about 3 inches behind the door, and open the door against my left leg. And
it's quite a sight for the poor porter that's on the other end. He's got a camera in one hand and a gun slung over his shoulder. His other shoulder.
He's got a gun! He's got a gun!
Excellent. Yeah.
He seems startled and he kind of looks at you and he looks at everybody else in the room from the hallway and he holds out the camera and the rifle.
Oh, no, actually, I'll just take it. Thank you. We need some more rum.
More see,
And
senor.
cigarettes. Get some cigarettes as well.
And cigarettes. Okay, see, senor. He
Here's
starts to
$50.
hand you back the change that from.
Just go.
All right.
You take that year's wages and go away, young man.
More than a year's wages. So you have a camera now, a big giant square box flash camera, and a
Who
rifle.
ordered this? I'll say to the room.
I did.
Oh,
Well-
here you go.
With all these bizarre sightings and accusations, I think it might be worth our while to have it. Plus, like we're gonna see all these wonderful sights. Perhaps inspiration for my next season.
You know how to use one of these?
I'll see what I can do. Unlock it and see if there's instructions somewhere.
In Spanish.
In Spanish.
I've got this.
Thank you for purchasing original model camera. For many hours of photographing pleasure, please ensure.
Yeah,
Your subject is in focus and well lit.
yeah. There is an insert, but it's all in Spanish.
And motionless.
Yeah, you
20
can't move
minutes.
for. Yeah, exactly. Stay still, otherwise this won't work. So what do you all want to do? You're in the hotel room. Quentin's kind of snapped back at it. He's drinking heavily.
I feel that maybe we should capture this moment.
Oh, fantastic!
Oh,
That's a great idea.
that's a
Also, it'll
cheerful
give you an
idea,
opportunity to practice with the camera.
All right. So yeah, I'll set her up, and after some time and some backwards things put together incorrectly, and it looks right. It looks like the picture on the front of the instructions.
Sure.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Just next to Jackson Elias.
Yes. Yeah, he's in there.
This is going to be the worst mix-up photo in history, isn't it? Because there's going to be LC stood there trying to look like he's posing for a magazine. Me like it's an explorer's pose. Louis going to look like he's in a mugshot for a crime he probably did commit. And Callum's going to be doing his best modeling shot as Jaden.
Right. Okay. So I guess I'll go behind. Are we talking about like camera with the whole piece of fabric over your head?
Yeah, that sort of thing. You could, if you want, you could grab one of the porters or somebody else from the hallway and maybe come in and take a picture so you're all in it.
Absolutely.
All 6 of you. Yeah, Jackson's in there with all of you. Do you want to have like the mirror mask in front of, propped up in front of everybody, or what do you want to do with that?
And I'm holding the newspaper.
Newspaper.
Maybe
cricket
standing on a dead lion. I don't know.
No. I've not got the newspaper. I've got cricket. I'm leaning on the cricket bat,
bat. All right.
and I've got the rifle over my shoulder.
All right. You're able to flag someone down to come into the room, and you instruct them, Gwen, on how to operate this thing, what to do, and when to push the button, and you tell everybody to be perfectly still. And after a few moments, all of a sudden, poof, there's a brilliant, bright flash, and this moment in time is captured forever in a photograph. So,
We hope it's captured because we need to develop it. It's not like
it's not a Polaroid, but
I haven't figured out that part yet. How we're gonna get it developed and all that. Details.
Yeah. I sometimes use these for, evidence collection. I'm not too good with it, but I can lend a hand. I actually have 40 in photography.
oh wow,
Yeah. Just noticed that the sheet. I'm like, oh, I kind of know how to use this.
it's good to have a camera, that's for sure. So Jackson says, so what? Listen, the trucks arrive tomorrow. I say we still take them. We take Larkin's trucks and let's head to Puno, and then we'll get some pack animals from there. And we'll make our way to where we think this pyramid is. Like I said, I made a connection with an old lady that was in the Highlands when I was over there last time, and she told me that she thinks she knows where this pyramid is and to contact her. So she is located in Puno. We should connect with her, get the information, and find out what's going on here.
If you have a map and a history book, I might be able to help out with that.
No,
Most of my books are
she's
from other continents.
she's more of what you'd call like a medicine woman or a healer. Here in...
Oh, fantastic. How exciting.
So let's head to Puno. We'll try and locate her, get some more information, pinpoint where this pyramid is exactly. She's the one who warned me about Dame Mendoza as well. And let's see this thing through. Let's find out what Larkin was looking to uncover. And get to the bottom of this nonsense, these noises and visions and mysterious languages. Whatever you're being taken in by the experience.
I'm sure there is a logical explanation. I suspect that there's some kind of cult-based activity and they have developed their own code language and are making extensive use of psychotropic and ritualistic habits and trances and such like to make these effects seem real.
Jackson, you're so reassuring. You're like a rock to me.
He pats you on the back with that.
To bed then, I think.
Yeah, you can sleep the rest of the day away. By the way, Gwen, you do have a reroll in the chat that was purchased for you. They were asking if you saw it in the chat, so. And I know you don't have your glasses.
With this. Thank you. Appreciate it very much.
All right, so you all head to bed, wake up the next morning, and you go to the location of where, you know, Larkin's trucks was to be delivered here in Lima. You get an early start. Is there anything you want to do before you head out on this adventure across the highlands of Peru towards Puno at the foot of Lake Titicaca?
Is there any way we can delay Larkin from
Just
showing
thinking,
up?
could we pay someone to go and harass him a bit or delay him at his hotel?
And do we need to do anything about the police? This is slightly outside my wheelhouse, I'm afraid.
Jackson
Speaking
says,
of wheels,
let's just leave town. Let's lose the police and just get out of here.
Excellent.
I would ask.
Sounds rather daring.
I would ask Jackson Elias if he can help me find a weapon. Explain to him that got a little experience with firearms. My father used to own a lot of weapons and forced me to get used to them. So I'd like to find a small handgun, but I have no clue where I could find such a thing here in such a short notice.
Yeah, go ahead and make me a charm roll. Please. Sorry, the chat's like, is there weird background noises? It's still the bar noises that are playing. So there's shaker and drinks being mixed.
Someone's mixing a drink.
We're followed by a bartender.
I'm okay
Yeah,
with
a
that.
It's just
bartender's-
Louis.
You have your own
Yeah,
personal
it's
bartender
just
in the room.
Well,
Now the
we're
drink,
leaving?
Mr. Salvatore.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's taken in by your story. He says, "I'll tell you what. Why don't you come with me and I'll we can go acquire a weapon of some sorts together. I have experience in this traveling around the world, and I think it's best if everybody's armed for this."
That's the case. If you could find me something small that would fit in my purse, it would be greatly appreciated.
Sure. He says, like a handgun or a derringer, or what do you?
I don't know anything about guns. Something that you most treat.
He smiles. Fair enough. Fair enough. I will take care of that.
I've done a little clay pigeon shooting before. I don't know if that's any help.
Oh, it's something.
Maybe a shotgun or a rifle then, if you're equipping us for
Why don't
daring
you call
do.
the embassy to get one?
Just talk to the front desk. And I'll hold up the one I've got. They got me one of these last night.
So, I will actually ask Jackson Elias a couple questions. One,
Sure.
First question: is this the trucks you bought them or Larkin bought them?
No, Larkin bought them. I didn't buy these. He arranged for them for this journey.
Okay. Good to know. And secondly, you got like equipment. You got like lamps, lanterns, food, supplies. These things, look, guns and stuff are good, but we need other things too. Like
Does that not come with the trucks?
yeah,
I
that's
thought
what
that
I'm
was how these
asking.
things were arranged.
Jack says, yeah, I would assume that's with the trucks. That's the gear that he's arranged
Okay.
for in these trucks.
Okay,
We want
that's the gear that Larkin arranged for, though.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
But
Okay.
maybe what we want to do then is get away with this truck while we leave Mr. Larkin behind somehow. That would
Yes,
be
that's the
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the plan.
yeah.
right.
Plan?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
the plan?
We'll get up early. Pay someone to go and harass him if he leaves his hotel. And
We're
we'll
gonna pay to
just-
harass him,
Oh, some kid to go and annoy him, get in his way.
kick him in his shins.
No, maybe just did they have a phone in his room?
Not in his room. You'd have to call the front.
Okay. Maybe don't send a kid. Maybe
Okay,
someone a little older.
a man.
That's fine. Yeah. Well, not a kid.
Did you not say? I can't remember. Actually, Jeff, I can't remember. Did you say if that you'd spotted that he was taking opium or heroin?
Oh yeah, he's I saw it the first time we met him. He had the tracks. He's
Yeah, I don't know whether the rest of us knew.
I think
whether
we
you
mentioned
kept
it. I think when
Yeah,
we
yeah.
described when we got back from the hotel, yeah.
Is there not some way we can use that to our advantage?
I mean, we could spike it, but I mean, I'm not sure if any of us want to go back in his room.
Will the
Yes,
cops?
yes,
Will the
good.
cops care if he's got a stash of?
That's a good question. I don't know what the laws here. What are the laws
Jackson,
here?
do you know if they'll care?
Well, perhaps we could tell them anyway.
It depends on the officer. They might turn a blind eye. Larkin has money. I'm sure he could pay them off. But it is illegal here.
I think
Oh,
they're
they
more
like
likely
money.
to
The
be
cops like
upset
money.
if he's stealing artifacts and trying to smuggle them out of the country.
Well, maybe he
that-
was involved in the murders though on the university. Maybe we drop a tip or something. Get the cops there to interrogate him all day or something.
Jackson's kind of like shaking his head, lights his pipe. Okay, drop a tip. Okay, sure. How do you want to drop a tip? Louis?
I don't know. Are they not outside? I mean, like, are they still outside? They were watching us so carefully yesterday.
Jackson,
earlier today.
we'll say you're sitting in the bar/restaurant. He gets up and he strolls out of the room. He strolls back and he says, well, there's no police.
Must have fixed that wheel then.
Yes, the car is gone as well.
Okay, so they're not outside. So let's go.
Okay. Jack says, let's go. Let's get out of here. On the way there, you guys he'll stop and he'll buy a firearm for you, Jaden. You can whatever you can afford, he will and you're looking for, he will buy and acquire for you, and anybody else who wants to buy a firearm or anything along the way, you're free to do so before you leave Lima.
I'll buy
Head
the
out
second
of-
one.
Head out of civilization, because you're going to head to the highlands and it's not going to be as easy to acquire things once you get out of Lima.
I might get a rifle then.
The shotgun to go with this.
And remember, as long as it's in your daily spending limit, you don't have to deduct any money, so you can just
Mhm.
acquire it. You have it.
I'm going to change from my cricket whites into my khaki shorts and long socks
I like it.
and
pit
walking
hat.
boots. No, I'm not that far. Not that far.
Okay. All right, very good.
I'm still wearing my cricket jumper though. It's my lucky jumper. So
You look. People are staring
Guess
at you
take
as you
my
stroll
tie
down the
off.
street. You look quite out of place, but you eventually arrive to where the trucks were to arrive, and there are 3 large covered trucks sitting there at the meeting point, and there are 3 drivers standing by one of the trucks.
good morning.
They look up and they kind
Well,
of.
I should make a point at this stage to say that I can walk in sunlight without catching fire.
You're covered up completely.
No reason.
That's only because you've got factor 400 on.
They look
Keep
up
my
and
eyes peeled for Larkin, by the way,
They-
or Mendoza.
For sure. They don't seem to understand whatever you said, LC. But as you say that, all of a sudden Larkin comes out from behind one of the trucks. He goes, you're here! It's time to go! Let's head out, shall we? Finally, this day has come.
And I'll go back to the group. Well, looks like he's recovered his poise.
Let's divvy up into the trucks. Let's divide up and let's head out for Puno. Who wants to ride with me in the front truck?
I'll come with you, Mr. Larkin, if that's okay.
Very good.
I think I'd like to go up front, actually.
Yeah,
Quentin,
I think
if that's all right.
I think you might want to. Yeah, I'm gonna pull my gun out. By the way.
Okay.
Right around Larkin, and I'm just gonna start playing with it. Like, yeah, it's such a shame what went down in the hotel yesterday. You know, I mean, I'm surprised you showed up here after everything you did.
He looks. What are you talking about? Yes, I haven't seen you since our first meeting.
Oh no, you saw Jaden and I. We came by your room. We were trying to have a nice, polite conversation.
Why
decided...
put that gun away? You're gonna get.
This gun right here. This gun. What's wrong? We're going in the wild. We might need guns. We need to protect
ourselves. We're gonna
ourselves.
need guns, but we don't need them here in the city. We don't want any negative attention. I would remember if I saw the two of you, and I did not see the two of you since the first night.
Mm-hmm. Must have been something in your eyes. Maybe you got like dirt in your eyes or something. You know.
He looks at you strangely.
Let's go. Yeah, I don't want the police to catch up on us.
Wait, you want to go on an expedition with them after what you saw?
Louis, could I just have a quick chat with you for a moment?
Yeah, sure.
I'll step aside.
Meanwhile, Mr. Larkin,
Yes.
Since that whole unfortunate incident with the police the other day, we haven't really had much of a chance to chat. Now, I was hoping to be able to ask you a few more questions about the history and the anthropology of the local area and see what you already knew so that I could add it to my notes, so that we can build a more holistic picture of what's going on. Is there anything you can tell me about the area we're going to explore? And I'll try and head him off while Elsie talks to Louis.
He starts walking with you towards the lead truck, and he starts relaying the same information that he gave you that first night, that he was in the Peruvian highlands and he ran into a farmer, and the story of the pyramid. It's almost like word for word. He's just regurgitating what he told you that first evening. But he does mention, he goes, funny enough, those objects went missing from my room. I no longer have them. A thief stole them in the night.
Very odd and remarkably specific.
Right. Obviously, someone knew or saw them that night in the bar.
And what of Mr. Mendoza?
I have not seen him in the last 3 days.
Right over here.
Yeah. He stepped out. No.
I rather meant more where you came by him, how you come to have his acquaintance and what his story is, because he seems terribly mysterious. And obviously on a quest like this, there's always the concern that you're with the right people.
No, of course. I have not heard from him in the last few days. I haven't seen him. I haven't heard from him. To be quite honest, I'm happy that he has disappeared. He frightened me. I came into acquaintance with him in Puno last time I was in the Highlands, and he told me that he had information on what I was looking for, and he wanted to be part of this dig, and that he could help us locate the specific site of the pyramid. But he was a very strange fellow. I didn't quite trust him, so I'm not particularly upset that he's disappeared.
Yes, very, very strange. There was a strange story in the paper that he died, but then his body had gone missing, or some such.
Died? What happened?
Was that sort of thing? Well, that's what I wanted to know. We had a newspaper. Elsie was reading the paper just yesterday morning in the hotel, and there was this story about Senor Louis Mendoza, who had died at the university, and his body had been taken away and then gone, vanished.
Well, I've been
just disappeared.
Completely engrossed the last few days in prepping for this expedition and getting everything arranged. I haven't even had a chance to look at the newspapers. If you want, go ahead and make me a psychology roll.
Hey,
Ooh.
let's. Ooh. No, because there's no point if I spend my luck.
Oh, yes, it
You
doesn't
know
go
what? I'll
towards.
spend my luck.
Are you sure? Do you have a reroll?
Go on, there you go. Yeah, I pass.
Okay. He's lying. He's lying. He's stuttering on his words.
He's lying his ass off.
There's holes in it, and he's just. I've been so busy with prepping for this expedition. I haven't had time to look at the news. I haven't had time to meet up with Damon Doza, even though he's in the room next to me. And then this theft. I've been in
With
contact
that
with
psychology
the police.
pass, though.
Mm-hmm.
With that psychology pass, would that give me any insight into something like dissociative identity disorder sort of situation where he might actually have multiple personalities? Because he genuinely seems to not know what he's talking about.
Yes.
And yet Jaden and Louis did meet him.
Yes. I'm going to say even with that success, no. You pick up on it, and you would know if you saw it, but he seems to be a completely different person, if you will, from what Louis and Jaden encountered the day before, from what they told you. He seems quite genuine in that fact, but his story is definitely a lie.
Okay. But then I suppose if he's a heroin addict, he's not exactly going to say, I've spent the last 2 days on a massive heroin bender.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. All right, Elsie and Louis. Elsie, you pulled Louis aside.
Look, what are we going to do about this guy?
And I'm telling you, I don't know what exactly happened, but he is about as bad news as news gets. If he's coming with us, it's gonna go south, and it's gonna go south real bad.
Shall I ride with him and
Just like kick him out halfway through, and just keep going?
it's in the mountains?
That's fine with me, but
That's like bad news. Maybe I could see if he's got a stash on him and we could take it off him.
What happens on tour?
we have to keep an eye on him all the time, because I don't trust it. I don't trust it.
Didn't you say he was like? Didn't you say he was out of it when you found him? Like
he was. He had been on a fun trip, that's for sure. And then he woke up, and he was himself, his affable, weird self. And then the minute I showed even the slightest of disrespect, and it was just slight, mind you, just very slight, he just flipped out entirely, and he was speaking some language I don't know what it means.
maybe we need to get his drugs off him. Maybe he's under. It's like, maybe it could be. We all had a bit to drink last night, and yesterday, and the last few days. To be honest,
I'm a fairly high-functioning alcoholic, and I know what I saw. I don't know what it was.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
I just wanted to.
There was also
here.
There was also the tattoo completely covering his torso.
He's got this weird tattoo. I mean,
I just hung out with Australian sports people.
Yeah.
There's a large, ragged spiral that covers his chest, radiating from the center of his sternum. The spiral ends above his diaphragm, where it connects to a stylized, misshapen humanoid figure with large, outstretched hands that appear to end in claws.
I tried to make a drawing of that. What happened with this?
Yes, make me an art roll. You're gonna make a drawing regardless, but this is gonna determine how accurate your drawing is.
Let's find out.
Maybe I just confront him about his drug use then.
I'll use my reroll.
Okay.
Yes.
Try to use that as an excuse to get him off the expedition.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no. Stick figures.
Given the events...
It's rude. It's a rude picture.
Yeah. Yes, given the events of what took place in that room and your memory of everything else, and you're trying to kind of shove what you saw out of your memory, you have a hard time recreating exactly what you saw in regards to that that tattoo. And when you show others, it's just like, it's a spiral, and nobody else really sees the hands or the claws. They see like, what is this, Jade? What did you draw? This is nonsense.
Sorry, old boy, you're about 70 years too early for hentai.
Jake, darling, why don't you ride with me and you can describe to me what you see, and I'll sketch her out for you. See if I can do a better job.
Yeah. I'm more a consumer of the arts rather than a creator myself.
We'll make a great pair. What do you say we go into the very last truck? Larkin's going in the first?
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Jackson's going to join the two of you in the last truck.
Oh, excellent.
Look, it's you and me then, Louis, old boy.
Yeah. You could tell me all sorts of things. Can't wait.
Okay.
Can we see if they've packed us any sandwiches?
The good news is you can raise your
Cucumber,
history.
hopefully.
The bad news is you need a sanity check.
Can I, as we're going up to the front, can I talk to Larkin? Mr. Larkin?
Sure. He's in the middle of chatting with Quentin, and you kind of take him by surprise. Oh, yes, LC, right?
Yes. It would be good to have a word with you, a serious word with you for a moment, if that's
Just
possible.
you and I? He looks at Quentin.
That would. I think that would be good. You know.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. I must speak with Louis or LC, apparently. And he,
I'll take him over to the side.
sure.
I'm slightly concerned about your well-being, Mr.
How
Larkin.
so?
Well, to be honest, some of my friends, I'll say, sort of smiling as I look back, paid you a visit yesterday, and
No.
well, I have it on good faith, and they have informed me that you were in a drug-induced state and nearly assaulted them.
He seems taken aback. You catch him by surprise with this also.
Okay.
What? No.
So one of two things needs to happen.
Okay.
You give me your stuff right now, or you're not coming on the truck.
Ooh. Let's make a roll here for this.
Am I intimidating? Is that what I'm doing?
Yeah, this is gonna be intimidate, and it's gonna be a hard intimidate.
Oh God. I don't have much intimidate. I saw a lot of this on tour in Australia, and it just ends up bad news.
This is Streets of Lima evening. How do I get the donkeys if you get you back? How do I get those?
What goes better with a conversation about heroin than donkeys?
The donkeys.
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh! 70.
Wow. You spent the luck?
I spent the luck. I only had a 7% chance of succeeding, so a re-roll was just not going to do it. And I thought,
Crap.
I've got 80 odd luck. I might as well give it.
Wow.
Neither you nor me are playing cards with Louis tonight.
Yeah, no.
Oh dear.
There's our donkey. It's back. All right, I found it. He looks around. He looks at you, and he looks like he's about to say something, like make an excuse. And you're just standing there sternly. And he goes into his jacket.
Cricket bat and rifle.
Right. One in each hand.
Yeah.
He goes into his jacket and pulls out from an inner pocket like a leather sort of case that's all rolled up and sealed, and he hands it to you, and he says, "Do you promise no word of this to anyone?" It's quite embarrassing.
It's between us.
All right, and he hands you this rolled up leather satchel. Okay.
Well, there you go. That injury to the knee won't bother you anymore.
I'm going to look for an opportunity to dispose of it
Sure.
as the journey goes, you know.
Oh,
like,
okay. You're not gonna do it instantly.
I'm going to stamp on it on the floor or chuck it in a ditch or something, because people would be like, yeah, exactly. People would see that and he'd ask for a little. And I'm thinking maybe he's just, you know, sorry, a donkey just brayed in my ear then. Maybe the drugs is what is, you know, because I wasn't there. So I want to give him a little bit of a chance. So I'm going to take it, stash it, and then when I get an opportunity, like throw it out the window into the jungle or, you know, something similar.
When we're driving along the top of a mountain pass.
Yeah. Well, because that's kind of where we're going, isn't it? We're going into the mountains.
Yes, you're going up into the
It's
mountains.
going to be like,
yes.
Yeah.
And then into the highlands.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some alpaca's getting lucky tonight.
That's some poor alpaca's gonna to find it and eat it. Yeah. All right, so you're gonna head out. You're all in your trucks. You're ready to go. You're riding with Larkin. He's here. He seems to be normal, and you head on out. Except you might be going through some withdrawals in the next day or two. But you head on out. It's a 3-day journey from Lima to Puno by truck. But this is the most direct way to get there. And like Larkin said, you're gonna have to ditch the trucks once you get to Puno, and you'll have to get some horses or donkeys or alpacas to get you the rest of the way there, because it's too rough for trucks. So as you head out, and the days to come, Larkin seems somewhat normal. Again, there's no hint of the events that took place the day prior with Jaden and Louis. He seems to...
Does he still stink of rotting flesh?
He does. He reeks of it. And now that you're aware of it, you don't even need to roll for it anymore. You know, like, it is emanating from him. It is just... especially, you're stuck in the truck with him. You, LC, and the driver of your truck. And it reeks in there. And he's putting cologne on every time you stop and, you know, to take a little break from the driving. He's kind of dousing more cologne on himself every time. And your truck, the smell is horrendous in there. You have all the windows cracked.
Even the donkey doesn't like it.
No, the donkey is disgusting.
What is in the back of the trucks, by the way? Is there just like...
Oh, wait, we have music.
In
We
the
have sounds.
mountains, you know,
Just
you need-
donkeys. We're
Your
just
truck is just donkeys, yeah.
We have Truck Ride to Puno is actually a sound on here.
truck full of donkeys?
There we go. It'd be funny if you started hearing donkeys.
Wasn't that by Madness?
The donkey found the stash. That's right. It's a very happy
Oh,
donkey.
I
God.
assume
that's
it's
even
like
more
climbing and excavation gear and camping gear and food and lanterns and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah. The trucks are stocked
No
with
dodgy coffin-shaped boxes or anything like that.
No, you don't need to roll for that. You inspect the trucks before you leave. Yeah, it's filled with lanterns, picks, shovels, rope, books to catalog things in, to write things in, writing utensils, tents. Everything seems to be on the up and up in these trucks.
And are we driving straight through or are we stopping?
You will stop each evening for a break. There's going to be no towns between here and there, so it's going to be setting up tents and sleeping each night in the wilderness.
Did Gwen had an opportunity to try to draw my description?
Oh, yeah, do you want me to roll?
Yeah, please roll your art for me, please. Arts and crafts.
I like that one. So is this an easy roll or
Just
normal?
a standard roll, normal roll. Yep. All right. So Jaden recalls what he saw on Larkin, tattoo on Larkin's body, and you do a very good job interpreting the description and drawing this thing out. And Jay, when you see it, you're like, that's it. That is it. That is what I saw in Larkin's body.
Fantastic.
Gwen, you've never seen anything like this. Again, this is the early 20s. You know, full body tattoos are really, really uncommon. Tattoos in general are typically frowned upon in this time period as well.
It's a sailor thing, isn't it?
Sailors
Terribly
and
coarse.
thieves.
You're saying that this is on Larkin's chest. Do you think he'd let me see it if I asked him? You know,
I wouldn't. I don't know what sort of behavior it would trigger in him. I really wouldn't. Gwen, believe me, do not get close to that man, especially alone.
Well, you can come with me.
No, I'm not getting close to him. You should keep your distance. We should all keep our distance.
Very well. Thinking. So, like, our drivers don't speak English, right?
No, they're 100% Spanish speaking.
So during our drive, can
Yeah.
I like build up a rapport using hand gestures with our driver?
Sure. Like, yeah. Definitely. What are we gonna roll for that? That is a good question.
We learn Spanish, actually.
Oh yeah. Can I ask him to teach me Spanish? Like,
I was thinking the same thing, to be fair, because I'm a linguist and I already speak 8 languages. Being able to pick up Spanish can't be that hard.
right?
You point at things and he says it in Spanish.
Yeah,
That's a
right?
tree. That's another
Steering
tree.
wheel. Gear shift.
That's a
roll
third
me
tree. Are you an idiot?
He just says pointing many times.
roll me persuade, please, Gwen.
Absolutely, I can.
Yeah, he's able to determine what you're asking, and he starts teaching you words, very elementary level, you know, colors, numbers, the odd object, greetings, things like that.
Excellent. And I'm gonna gesture towards like driving of the car. Like me, you teach me how to drive.
Why don't you go ahead and make? You're going to try and convince him of this. So let's charm.
All
How do you want to approach it? Charm is one way to approach it. Fast talk is another. It all depends on how you want to talk him into this.
Oh, I think I'll go charm. Definitely.
Persuade. You know,
I'll do charm just because you build up this rapport. It's no longer, you know, like me, like necessarily. Yeah, I'm gonna do charm. Yes.
Okay. So he kind of tells you in broken English and Spanish, the little bit of Spanish you've now picked up, like don't tell Larkin. Like, he can get in trouble, but he'll let you drive the truck for stretches, and he's gonna sleep when you do so in the seat next to you. Megan, I rolled for the Spanish you're gonna pick up over the next 3 days. Give yourself a 17 in language Spanish. I rolled randomly on how much you're gonna pick up. Quentin, you want to do the same thing?
Maybe not so much with the charm, though.
Sure. What? How do you want to persuade your driver to teach you some Spanish?
Well, I'm a linguist and I'm rich, so I was going to offer him some money to teach me Spanish.
That's great, actually.
So I will pay him.
Yes. You don't even need to roll because you're just like buying your way with the money.
Roll a skill.
I know. I want him to roll a skill so he can increase at the end of the session.
Would you like me to roll language own?
Sure. And did you all get my message in the Discord to give yourself Spanish from last week based off your increase to what you rolled last?
What about that?
Oh, look, I passed.
I need to find how to add it.
Okay. So he takes your money, his eyes open wide. He gladly snatches out of your hand, and over the next few days, the driver will teach you some Spanish. You're going to gain another 11 points in language Spanish on top of what you already may have had, what you picked up from last session. Over the next 3 days. It's here and there whenever he gets a chance to give you like little lessons. And again, it's just elementary words that you're learning, colors.
Could I learn
objects,
some Spanish
things.
from my driver? Could
Well,
I persuade him
I'll
to
tell you what,
teach me some
it's the
Spanish?
same driver. Aren't you with Quentin? No.
Nope. I'm
No,
in the
it's
front.
me and Louis. I'm sparing Louis the thought of having to
Right.
have long conversations with me.
Sure. Go ahead. This is like, it's turned into a shopping episode now. Can I buy
I'm
this
going to get him
skill?
to... He's going to teach me things like smelly, stinky,
So
strange man.
do you want to intimidate him? Do you want to charm your driver? Do you
No,
want
I don't
to
intimidate
persuade your
everyone.
driver?
It's not my thing.
Oh, actually, tell a lie. I get a bonus die on that, so I don't know what the bonus die is. What is the bonus die that you roll?
Roll another d10. It will make your roll.
Oh,
better,
it makes my
possibly.
roll better. It doesn't
Yeah,
make
and
your roll better.
it'll replace the
Okay.
9 on your 49 if it's lower.
Yeah, that's not going to make any difference.
I will attempt to charm him,
Okay.
but my charm is 15. So if
Right.
anyone wants to slide me a re-roll, because I don't think I've got one yet, that would be cool.
Slide you $10.
Oh, whoa!
Ho ho!
Wow!
You have found him, the one Argentinian cricket fan.
Oh, yes,
Wow.
taken in by your stories of this strange sport that you you play, and you have an 18 in language
Wow.
Spanish. After
You have to teach him cricket.
Yeah, that's the trade-off.
Easy.
When you stop in the evenings to make camp, you have to teach.
Oh yeah,
him how
we're gonna
play
have a few
cricket.
rounds. Yeah, a few overs.
You are absolutely going to know how to speak all of the cricket speak in Spanish and nothing else. Going to come to communicating with a Spanish shopkeeper and you're going to be like, googly, leg before wicket.
Crease.
I don't know anything about cricket. These words mean nothing to me. All right, so I'm gonna say on day 2, you stop to make camp, and everything seems to be going normal. But I'm gonna get everybody to go ahead and make me a spot hidden roll on evening 2 as you start to make camp.
I will have chucked drugs far into the jungle before
Sure,
this.
I'm gonna say even
Before this point.
Oh,
My God, I passed a roll.
Jane, you're convinced
Just.
that you see that man that was described by Louis with a wide brim hat on the edge of the jungle, the edge of the forest where you're making camp. Everyone else, you see Larkin one evening when everybody's done, you've eaten, you've had your meal, and everyone's starting to settle down for the night. Larkin goes to disappear into the nearby woods. So Quentin, you pick up on it, Louis, Gwen, and LC. But Jane, you're convinced you see one of these wide-brimmed, pale men in the nearby forest.
I will have been watching Larkin, so I will definitely be following him
Same. Yeah.
and sort of waving at everyone else like. And I've got my rifle.
Spin a little with the revolver ready to go. Now's the chance.
And I've got a cricket ball in my pocket as well, just in case.
All right, so we're gonna do some.
with weapons.
Are we doing some sneaky sneak here? Are we
Yeah.
stealthing?
Yeah.
You don't want to be caught by Larkin as he disappears. He looks around, he looks over his shoulder, and he's convinced. He's like, okay, and he just goes off into the woods. And all of yours like, where is he going? You see him, the dancing light from the fire just completely illuminates the area. Oh, there's those donkeys again. And you see him no problem. So go ahead and make me some stealth rolls. Whoever wants to go in there stealthily behind him. Jane, you're like, where are y'all going? Is it that you saw him too? You saw that strange man?
Bad. Oh!
Oh,
Being at the camp.
Louis pulls out his gun and it
Whoops.
actually it goes
Just start
off.
firing.
I'm gonna say with 100. If anyone wants to buy him a reroll, you can. This is the time. But otherwise, he said he pulls out his gun and he spins it. I'm gonna say it goes off.
Do you think
His
I
gun
actually
discharges.
have a second? I think Aaron Upchurch gave me a second reroll a while back. But we can let it
Good old
go.
Aaron.
We can let that happen. They don't roll over, do they? They don't roll over to the next session?
They don't.
No.
So if you have
Okay,
it, use
then
it.
I'll roll it. Yeah,
Okay.
Okay. All right.
It's not a critical failure. You're not gonna fire your gun this time.
Too much. I haven't got enough luck.
Gonna spend
I've massively failed.
Oh, Aaron just bought you another one, Jeff.
Thank you, Aaron. I spent some luck to make that a pass.
let's
Gwen, are you spending the luck or no? Everybody's making some. Oh yeah, you had a reroll from Bill, so that was your reroll there, Gwen.
So how do I go about and spend luck with the button?
So if you
Click on
the
it
number
and scroll
65,
down.
even though you told us before the session you can't see. You click on the 65, it expands it, and then it'll say spend 5 luck to pass. I'm looking at it right now. Click that, And boom, you have a success.
Neat.
So it's just me who failed.
It's- So
I wasn't
Oh,
stealth enough
hang
into
on,
the woods.
someone just
That's
gave me
just
a
the crazy
reroll.
kids.
Someone just gave
I'm
me a
going to
reroll.
stay around the fire and talk folklore with our drivers.
Yeah,
Sure.
And actually, if
Ah!
if Jackson Elias can, I will ask him to help me practice my aim. With my handgun.
sure.
So there are shots of gunshots now and then resonating in the night. That's me shooting at the camp.
Sure. You can make have you passed the charm roll already tonight? You have, haven't you?
Tonight, yes.
Okay.
yes,
So I was gonna say you can roll me a charm, which I know is really
I
high.
wanted
for
to
you.
practice my firearms.
And you talk him into it. So yeah, you can go ahead and roll handgun.
Persuade. I can
Persuade. Yeah, roll me a persuade. I gotta get these skill rolls in so you guys can increase your stats.
I'm gonna.
Oh wow. Do you have a reroll? Does anybody
Do
have
I?
a
No.
reroll? We're almost at the end of the
No, I don't
session
think
too,
I
so
had
if anybody
one.
has
I
an
used
extra
one
reroll.
already. Can I? The luck thing is. Oh, there it is. I'm gonna spend 7 luck on this.
7
one.
oh, 7 luck? It's nothing.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, sure thing. And he grabs his handgun and the two of you go off to side of the camp and he sets up some targets, some
Tin
makeshift
cans.
targets. Tin
Yeah,
cans. I was gonna say tin cans. There's not gonna be any tin
The
cans.
beans
out
we've
here.
just eaten.
Yes, there you go. The cans and the beans. And all of a sudden gunshots are going up. Go ahead and make me handgun roll or rifle. Whatever it was. It's gonna be a handgun that he bought you. So make me a handgun roll there, Jaden.
Hey!
Nice. All right, that's marked for increase. But that's a good way to do it because it
Jackson,
makes sense.
I did it. You're such a good teacher.
He pats you on the back and gives you a few pointers on how to straighten that aim and get right and
He's
hit
behind me,
target
it's
straight on.
Does he
Yeah,
stand behind
you.
with his
He
arm
stand
round?
behind you and kind of puts his arms around you and shows you how to hold the gun. And the others are slinking on. Well, Quentin is staying behind and he's polishing up on his Spanish. He's getting little bits from all the different drivers. And Larkin disappears into the jungle with Elsie, Louie, and Gwen in tow. And that's when Elsie steps on a stick and there's a loud crack and everybody kind of turns around.
I got a reroll. I got a
Oh,
reroll.
did you?
I got a reroll and a pass.
Oh, you passed. All right,
sorry.
so you stealth into the woods, and I think we're going to end it there because we're at the end of our session. It's a good place for us to do a cliffhanger from. So,
Dun, dun, dun.
dun, dun, dun.
Excellent.
We'll do the increases off air for all of your stats, but good session.
Yeah.
You still got Larkin here with you, and you're on your way to Puno, and who knows what's going to happen in the forest, on the way there, in the middle of nowhere. But let's do one more round table. People can plug what they got going on this week and where you can find them. Pete, you're up first.
Yes, hello. So, shows for the rest of the week, we have tomorrow night, we have Ranger Squadron, which is our West End Games D6 Star Wars game with the Garblag Troll, otherwise known as Dan, is let out of his cave to come and run some Star Wars for us. On Thursday, we start a new show, Feudal Stars, which is Mongoose Traveller 2nd edition show, which is sponsored by Mongoose Traveller.
Game.
Yes, and we'll be giving away a Pirates of Drynax box set on the first episode.
Not
which is
Pirates
pretty
of
cool.
Drinks, as
Not
the
the Pirates of
autocorrect.
Drinks, as auto-corrected in Discord
I got
earlier
a
on.
copy
Yeah.
of it. This beautiful
Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
set.
There you go.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
Absolutely
Yeah,
gorgeous
yeah.
set.
Oh yeah, that is, and it's a huge sandbox kind of setting in the Trojan Reach for Traveller that allows you to explore a huge area or follow a story. So it's a really good resource for anyone who wants to get into Traveller and the Third Imperium and the setting. We're doing our own little area, my own little zone, and patrons are going to be helping me to do some world building for the different factions. I've been inspired by Millie with her faction turn conversations on the Discord. So patrons are signing up to join one of the factions in the Traveller game, and they will be helping me to flesh out names, places, and events going on in the background as our crew move through space. So it's going to be a kind of meta game as well. So that's going to be lots of fun.
And there's like 30 players.
There's 12 crew members,
Oh,
but there'll
12.
be five people in an episode.
It's going to be insanity. It'll be good.
Yes, it is.
Megan, what do you got going on? What game have you chosen for next week, or this week, I should say, that your family's going to play?
This week,
Have you selected yet, or no?
of course, as soon as we're done, it's on with the next one. I should actually post pictures of the stacks of board games that we have. It is quite bananas. But it's Mousetrap this week.
Oh, classic.
Original or new?
Original, absolutely. Although we did have to buy some more cheese because there was no cheese left in the box when we opened it.
Do you have all the bits for all the trap?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
what you're saying is you're so bad at Mousetrap that all the cheese was gone.
100%. Couldn't recall if it was either my husband's or my version of the game, but either way, we're on to that this week. So fingers crossed. It lasts more than 35 minutes.
Cool. It's a good game. Your kids will love it.
Totally.
It's a classic.
Yes.
It's a classic.
Stay awesome, everyone. See you next week.
Yes. Caleb, what do you have going on this week?
Well, something I forgot to mention at the beginning of the episode is that this week, yesterday actually, I interviewed James D'Amato from the One Shot Network. So if you want to listen to a laid-back little conversation between him and myself about the ultimate micro RPG book or the ultimate RPG world building master book, well, you can head to the YouTube channel of the released, and you will find it as well as a few other stuff. And finally, if you want to play with me and a lot of cool people, I recommend to join for free this weekend's, and it's extending from Thursday till Sunday, the Gauntlet Community Open Gaming event. There are games there you can join for free, which are really cool to play online. So I really recommend you Google just that, a Gauntlet Community Open Gaming. You should find it.
Cool. Jeff, what do you got going on for the remainder of the week?
This week, I'm not sure what we're doing over the weekend, but the big thing is that we're starting a new game on the Free League Publishing channel on Monday. So if you want to come check that out, we're playing Things from the Flood. We're doing like the mystery landscape, big old sandbox, and we're doing like a session 0 where we're making characters, but also like creating the sandbox. So if you want to come and sort of be part of that and create weird little things that the people can then explore later on, that's a good night to do it. So it's like 9 Central US time. And other than that, I'm on twitch.tv/thelollygaggers, where we play a variety of tabletop role-playing games like Alien, and then later in March we're planning a Delta Green game as we're going to start up the Impossible Landscapes, the new just this year just released new campaign that just came out a couple months ago. So that's the plan.
Yay, Delta Green. Ben, what do you have happening this week and for the next 12 days?
Yes, next 12 days, Descendants of Darkness. My Kickstarter is out there in the wild. Pete will be happy because I made it a D12 based game. I know Pete loves him some D12s. It's urban horror, modern fantasy kind of game. Lots going on. Come and check it out, see what you think. Friday, we've got the finale of Alien: What Lies Beneath, where I have managed to split my party 4 ways out of 5. Still need to separate the last 2. Coming up after that, we're going to be playing some Spire on Friday evenings. We're going to start with the session 0 of that, with character creation and building a wacky cell of dark elf terrorists to take on the evil high elves.
Amazing game, Spire. Really good.
Cool. Jeff ran Heart for us, and it was a really, really good time.
Yeah, Heart's a lot of fun.
What do I got going on? Thursday, you can find Ben and myself on the Free League channel at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I don't know what that is. CET, GMT. On Thursday,
8
GMT,
8 I think. Yeah, I think it's 8
7.
GMT.
7 GMT.
7 GMT. Is it really that
7
early?
till
Wow.
9, isn't it?
I better
Yes.
cook dinner early that night then. Yes, it is.
We're playing
Because yes, of course, because at 9 o'clock I got to jump across and Traveler.
You gotta go
Space
do
game.
Traveler. Yeah, we got Forbidden Lands, our once a month Bitter Reach campaign with an all-star cast. We're back with that this week. You're going to see release today the official Foundry module for Forbidden Lands. We'll be using that as well, so people want to see what that looks like. We'll have that on the overlay. What else do I have going on?
Millie's in that one, isn't she?
Millie is also in that game.
Millie is also in that. Yeah.
On Sunday, this coming Sunday, I'm going to start another Forbidden Lands game on the channel. This one will be more North American friendly time, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I'm going to take the system neutral, what is it, Dark of Hot Springs Island. And I'm going to run that using Forbidden Lands, so that'll be cool. That is it for us. Thank you everybody for joining us again for Masks of Nyarlathotep on the channel. Thank you to Chaos Human. Thank you to Sirenscape for your support. Thank you everyone who keeps showing up and everybody who watches us afterwards on YouTube. We appreciate it, and we're now available in podcast form. With that, we're going to do a raid because I always forget to raid. We're going to raid Goblin Cave TV. Some good folks over there. Can I do it? Oh, I can. I don't know why I have the power now to do it. So I'll raid those people. Thank you again, everyone. Have a great week. We'll be back next week, Tuesday.